today we're on negotiation. All right, so how to win every negotiation with this mindset. And this actually comes, next slide, from Harvard Negotiation Masterclass, and it is the learning mindset. This is where you want to be. So if you think, okay, I'm going to war, I'm going to battle, I'm going to get a win, lose, I'm going to take everything, they're going to get nothing. Wrong, 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 wrong. Learning mindset. If we go to the next one, I'll tell you the 4 things that you need to learn about. All right, so we've got their interests. What are their goals? What matters to them? What are they afraid of? What do they care about? So now as we dive into these, we start to see, okay, we need to learn everything we can about our counterpart. All right, what do they need to get out of the deal? When we talk about constraints, where do they have flexibility? Where do they not have flexibility? Did something change where they were maybe constrained before, but they aren't anymore? Where are their hands tied, right? And Chris Voss, master negotiation expert, talks about the black swan. So kind of trying to find out, okay, what's that hidden thing underneath all the layers? Maybe we're negotiating about this, but what are they really after here? And we talk about alternatives. What is their worst case scenario? These are things that are critical to learn about, right? So we're getting mindset hacked kind of from the inside out for who we're negotiating with. Who else could they be talking to? So forget about yourself. What are their alternatives to their deal, right? Who's your competition? What else can they do? And finally, what is their perspective? How are they thinking about the deal? Where are they coming at you from? All right, and we've talked about this in different ways before. You can check out any one of our past videos, but is this a big deal to them? How do they view you? Right? So always turning things around from, oh, the focus is on me, what I want to get out of this deal. How do I get a win for my client? If we're talking about getting a new client and you're going into a negotiation, right? What is their perspective? What are the goals that they need? What are they trying to achieve? And very importantly, who else might they be talking to? So how can we position ourselves to be the best option for them? Jeremiah, what do you think about that?
You know, there's something that like resonates with me as I look at these 4 words. It's almost like understanding the landscape.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times as advisors, we come into a conversation, a money conversation, and I think unwittingly we come in very selfish. And I think that it's not our fault. It's not advisors' fault that we come in that way. It's typically that's the training we've been given, because this industry is very product sales oriented, right? Like when you get your license, it's like write a list of 100 people you know, because I just trained you on these great life insurance products and writers and annuities and financial planning and how you get paid. And it's like, talk to them about this product. So it's a very selfish way to engage in a conversation and utterly ineffective. I was actually having a conversation with somebody yesterday who is a young guy. He got into insurance to, make his life better, part-time. He had this mentor that was mentoring him for 27 years. And the system of training was the mentor would do 5 calls of his friends and family, and then he could go off and do the rest. And I asked him, I said, okay, how many meetings did you have out of that list of his was a top 50 list? He goes, I had 15. I said, how many did you close? He goes, 0. I was like, wow. He goes, yeah, I was really disappointed. And I'd be willing to bet that if I dug deep, one of the things his mentor was doing was talking a lot about product. And not truly diving into the negotiation of the sale using some of these commonalities, right? Constraints, alternatives, perspective, and what their interests are.
Yeah, one of the biggest mistakes we can make with dealing with people or working with other people is making it about ourselves, especially negotiation. Like especially
Wait, did you just say that it's not about me?
It's not about you. It's also not about me.
I'm out.
Yeah, and it's nice because I was so inspired to read this because it also reminded me of our advisors' core values. It is about giving back, and it's about what are we doing for others? What is it that you're bringing to the table that you can give as a gift to somebody else? Right. And I think that's a really cool way to think about being an advisor and kind of flipping around. So it's okay, what are we giving to them? Are we giving them freedom? Are we giving them peace of mind? Are we giving them resources to build a better life for their friends and for their family? So this is a lot that we have as advisors, you have to give to your client. So if you come into it like that, it's okay, what am I giving to them? What do they have to lose? So now I got to know, what do they really want? What are they after?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So one good question and we'll just leave it, we'll just close out this hack with here's a great question that you can ask is, what's important to you when you work with an advisor?
Yeah.
And that will take them anywhere they want to go. And they can go into pain, like what they want to avoid. They can go into pleasure, what they want to gain. There's so many different ways that they can go, but it's an open-ended question. It's not a yes or a no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I have in my mind, I have answers to that question that I feel like advisors wouldn't even realize I would say if my advisor asked me that. They said, what's important to you? I'd say, this is driving me crazy. This is what I need. And this is what I want. And then all you have to do is say, done. I can give that to you.
Yeah. And I
Negotiation
think,
over.
yeah. And I think too, this methodology of negotiation is very important, especially as advisors learn to work with a younger audience. Because
Yeah.
back in the day, and I'm going to say back in the day, because this is the reality now, this is not a shift that is going to happen. This is a shift that has happened, but only 10% of this industry is even aware of it. Dealing with younger audiences, and I'm not just talking millennials, I'm talking Gen Z, Gen Y, people under the age of 40, people under the age of 50. The way that we are looking at money is not the way our parents looked at money, and is not the way we look at retirement. Back in the day, you could have a conversation about retirement with somebody in their 50s and 60s, and it's like, it's this blob that gets handled, and then at 65 I'm done. But that's not how the younger generation's thinking. They're like, retirement, like I don't even plan on ever retiring. I want to know some money's there, but like, what's going on with crypto? How can I get in that piece right now?
Yeah.
How do I take $1,000 and turn it into 5K in the next 90 days? How do I protect it from taxes? Because Uncle Sam's not doing me any favors. So I want to own all my money. I want to give the least amount of it away. Like, these are the mentalities. So when you come in with negotiation strategies where you're really coming in insanely curious, you want to learn a lot, it's going to be so helpful for you guys at Shift Nation to be able to pivot, to understand, and really be surprised. And I'd say that's probably my takeaway, Eve. If you're not surprised in a conversation, you're not curious enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you can learn something different from every client. 100%. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. As much as you think you know. And this is why it's also so important. And I know you guys talk about this so much on the Shift Nation, the advisor is Max, is knowing your niche. Because how much easier is all of this to learn and to know if you're already focused on one bracket and one type of customer, then all these things you'll start to pick up the patterns and hear things over and over. And then maybe you won't be surprised, but you can still always dig in a bit more. But now you can properly market and target them.